Hello everyone, welcome back to Inspireship. This is one of our podcasts where we bring entrepreneurs and success to you so you can learn from them and grow yourself. Today I'm very excited. I have an entrepreneur who's not only just an entrepreneur, he's a client as well. He's been with me for the last 4 to 5 years, and I've seen his success going from all the way down to a much higher level. And he's not stopping, he's going to keep going. I want to introduce you to Sanchez. Sanchez actually has a taco truck. It's called TOO GOOD PAPI. And what's the location that we are in right now?
We are in Humble, 9723 North Sam, Houston. Over here near the Showbiz. We're in the Humble area.
This is mangonada that I just started to drink, and it is out of this world. Look at this. Come by here and give your support to small business owners. Let's start the conversation. Again, my name is Tanvir Chinoy. Welcome back to Inspireship. I would like to introduce you to Andres right here again, who will tell us how he started this taco truck, what he was thinking, what he went through, were there any failures involved, and what can we all learn from his success. So Andres, tell us about yourself a little bit, a few minutes. Are you married, with kids, and so forth?
I am married. I have my wife, who's also a business partner of mine. She currently owns TOO GOOD PAPI, which is one of our new and developing businesses. Based off your drink that you had there, we are in the food truck itself. Me and Tanvir, we thought it would be an awesome idea to showcase everybody what really happens in this kind of business. Anybody who has any kind of thoughts beginning something like this is as clear as day as it could get, right? So you can really see it live in the moment, what's going on.
Yeah.
And so yes, me and my wife started our first business, which was TOO GOOD PAPI. We started it 5 years ago.
Which is during the pandemic, actually.
Yes, during the pandemic.
Wow.
From our standpoint, it was probably one of the bestest years to go into business. Sometimes people will say that during certain economies, highs and lows, they think would be the worst time to invest.
Yeah.
But from what we've learned, from my experience, from greatness and failure, I believe when everybody's telling you no, it might be the best time. There's never a wrong time to start a business, in a few words. So never let those certain aspects limit you from your idea and concept. There's always ways to work around it. There's always going to be a way to work around it. Don't cap yourself. That happened 5 years ago. Everybody would have said it was the worst time to ever start a business. And with all this being said, it all requires money, right? That's what it comes down to. Cash. How are you going to start the business? How are you going to fund it? You just kind of sometimes got to take that risk. And that's what me and my wife did then at that moment. We did have, each one of us had a job. She was a TA. She was studying in college. She was about to sign up to college to start doing her basics.
Okay.
I was a plumber. I was in the union, and I was an apprentice. I was going through the 5-year apprenticeship so I could get my certifications to become a plumber. Before you know it, one thing led to another. We got into our first investment, which was actually this truck. We've had it the entirety of the business. We had the lifespan, and we were gonna rent it out. This was supposed to be an investment, a long-term investment, and rent it out.
I see.
And we would never work the unit. We were never supposed to really end up in here cooking.
Run it yourself.
No, it was not that. It was supposed to be, how can I call it? Just where it manages itself, right?
I see. So basically what you're saying is that this was intentionally to be for another business owner to run it, and you will just oversee it, make sure you're getting the rent, and you go back to your main job.
Precisely.
I see. Okay.
It's supposed to be easy money.
Easy money.
I just found out the past years that it ain't like that.
It's not like that.
There's no easy money.
You mentioned earlier that you started during the pandemic, which you're right. For most people out there say, hey, how can you start in such a difficult time? I know for a fact that Walmart, Amazon, they all started during a crisis, during economic downturn, right? Let me just ask you real quick. When you started that, in your mind, were you a little afraid to invest money during that time where I'm just going to wait 3-4 years and start when things are better? Did that cross your mind?
For sure. Fear is, it's always there. There's no business owner in this world that I know of does not have fear. Everybody has fear. Because you never know which way it's going to go. Yes, it crossed our mind. Fear of what was going to happen, right? How are we going to make the payment for the loan, right? There's a loan, there's nothing is free. And if you want to come up with such amount of money for X amount for a certain business, what's the issue is it's going to be troublesome. And the fear is there. The fear is not gone. So how do you work around that fear? The way to work around it is to adapt, pay attention to where the economy is at, where we're sitting, right? If people are struggling with with money in certain ways. Just work with it, right? Develop certain promotions or ideas behind that concept. If you already, so when we started, we were only running for about 9 hours the kitchen. Keep in mind, during the pandemic, at a certain hour, everyone was already home. Businesses were closed. Either you could work those hours when other businesses were closed, like McDonald's, they would shut down at 9 p.m. Walmart was only opening up a single shift. It was crazy to everybody. You couldn't even understand what was even going on. Work with that, right? Any year that you're starting in, just work with what's going on, right? The economy, just get the idea, just get the gist of it. And if you think somebody, even a corporation, if they're doing something wrong, then you fix it and implement it to your business.
I see.
Test it out.
You study the economy, and based on that, you come up with a plan, right? And that's what you did. Now, at that time, were you still working for someone, or you?
I was still working. I was working out in Huntsville.
Okay.
The company's name was DSI.
Okay.
They were a plumbing company, awesome to work with. And I was working out there. I would go in at about 7 a.m. I would leave home about 6, get there by 7, took me about an hour drive. And then sometimes I would try to skip lunch. I would let my journeyman, my foreman, I'll let them know that I had to be here by 3 to come and open up my food business.
They knew about that?
Yes, they were excited. They were excited behind the idea and the concept of having a food truck. My name's Andres, like we've spoken, but they used to call me Andy out there.
Andy, okay.
I was Andy out there. I was a kid to them. I started when I was 18. To them, I was a kid to them. I was one of their babies. And it was funny. It was awesome. I would let them know I had to be here at a certain hour. We would be here by 2:30, 3 o'clock. And if I couldn't be here, my dad, an awesome man who taught us this business, he would drive the truck here and post up right before I would even get here. He'll set up for me.
Wow.
And I'll show up and I'll be like, Dad, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I'm ready to work. He'll be like, go ahead. Get to it. It's cooking, man.
Wow. Your dad, so I know when we talked earlier, your dad also has his own as well.
He's been in business 26 years.
Wow.
26 years in the business. He's honestly, I think he's done so awesome to the point where he's let us expand from his opportunities he's had in his hand.
He's kind of like a mentor.
These guys are a lot of us.
Say,
a lot of us, quite a lot. Even people that are not family of ours, unknown, just random people we've met that had the same energy to build something. He's guided them the right way. He doesn't cap it. You want to learn? Come on.
Wow.
I'll take
very open to learning, to teaching.
So I've learned a lot from him. Honesty and transparency. He's showed me a lot of that, and it's helped me out a lot. I've built great partnerships in the past 5 years. People I never thought I would have met. I bumped into them. Just continued talking comfortably, and we hit topics that we relate to one another, and it's awesome. And that's how he grew. That's how he grew, because he would understand somebody else's scenario, their flaws, they'll understand his flaws. You compare, and you get better ideas of growth.
But learn from each other by talking, see what you're doing, what I'm doing, and something you can implement that maybe you haven't thought of. You can learn from others. Something
that I've thought of, that I've learned from others is, honestly, I never thought about consistency, because my dad I was self-taught that, right? My dad guided to teach me that when I was a kid. I was about 11. Consistency kind of just grew into me, where I was like, oh, wake up, get to work.
Were you always like that, or that changed when you started your business?
I kind of was always like that, honestly, because my dad taught me that since I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
To me, it was just like another instinct. It was just another way of just me being myself. And then when I would compare with other people, I understood that was not well known for everybody. They would have certain days that their family would tell them, hey, if you're tired, you're more than welcome to rest. And then you find out that that's incorrect. That is not how business is.
Is that right? That's interesting.
Scheduling, consistency, being on time. I know everybody repeats it to everybody else, but some people, it just doesn't click, it doesn't stay in them. One thing that if you're going to be building a business, something as simple as this, many people think this is very simple. Oh, I want to put a food truck and I want to sell, I don't know, Chinese food. They're like, all it is noodles and meats and shrimp. I should be able to sell it. My husband tells me it's freaking great, and my parents do as well. I should be able to do it. Day one, you start, excitement's and the adrenaline's popping. You're ready to hustle. You open up the windows, and you're expecting a high volume of people, a lot of happy smiles, and everything like that, right? Such and such. It's not how it is.
It's not how it is.
It's not how it is. You're about to receive hard criticism. You're going to receive compliments.
Wow.
And you're going to receive honesty. And by honesty, it's sometimes you might take it as hate, but it's not hate.
I see.
Just people being honest with you, telling you, hey, this is good, this is not good.
Was that hard for you at first?
It was.
Telling you negative things?
To bring in negativity and understand how to comply with it, work around it, and not take it in the wrong way, right? How to grow from it. How can you grow from the negativity? That's it's and not everybody can receive negativity, right? Right. Say you get a bad compliment day one, they tell you, hey, this is horrible. Some people will instantly close their mind and close their business, shut it down, go sit in the car or stand here and cry about it, or maybe get their anger out on the employee or the next following customer. It's not the right way. The whole opposite is what should happen. If they're letting you know they don't like something, then fix it ASAP.
I see.
Like we've spoken before, build a plan. What are you gonna do about it? Because if you don't think like that, you will not grow.
I see.
That's what we're going at, right? Well, growth, consistency, and then something that not many people think of. If you don't know how to receive negativity and work with it, you will not grow.
It's very important to take it a positive way, try to act on it, and see what you can to fix the issue as best as possible.
And if anybody,
right away.
If anybody doesn't want to hear from me, examples are the big businesses, the corporations. They add certain drinks to their menu, and then 3 months later you go look for them and they're not there. That's not because they're seasonal. It simply means that didn't work.
I see.
And they were able to receive negativity, and they were like, hey, take it off the menu. We're not going to be able to sell it.
They made a decision. You got to act right away when you have your business.
And act fast.
Act fast.
Act fast, because I've been through it all, and I could tell you from wins and losses. If you don't act fast, that money that somebody could have lended you, that partner, that bank, they're still gonna.
Investor,
your agreement you had with them is still there in place. And they care less if you're generating the money back or not, right? So
they want their money back, and they want interest or whatever agreement.
There's rules and agreements in place, and there is no excuses. That's one thing. They will not receive an excuse. Simply, what's on paper is what's going to be done, and it's set in stone. That's one thing. Being able to receive negativity, acting fast, is something that I've learned a lot that other people do not sometimes have in their mindset. But as soon as they build with that, they grow so fast. I've had somebody, she's located here in Atascocita. She started with one single food truck. She was one of my ex-employees, an ex-cook. She started with one, and then she's been in business, I think, 3 years, and she has 2 locations.
Oh, wow.
Right? She has 2 locations. They're consistently open. They're doing fairly well from my perspective from afar. I see them busy and gaining traction.
And she was your employee. She
was one of my employees, and
she learned a lot from her.
She was one of my first cooks.
Really?
So we learned negativity together.
I see.
It's something not many people are going to teach you. Typically, everybody will show you what is the beauty, the what's it called, the grand opening, sending the orders out, but not many you will never see the difficulties.
Behind the scenes, what actually happened.
And maybe the beginnings.
The beginnings.
The beginnings, they're tough. They're not all horror stories. Some businesses, this is one example, my wife's, it's been in business 6 months, and this one has been more exciting, more adrenaline, more understanding still a customer to this day, but more fun and more. But there's been more of an upside than a downside, right? Like because we've learned from over there.
We learned from there.
From the other business. From
this is the second one.
Second one. So this is the second one, Tagamami, and then.
Has it been a little easier journey since you kind of know what you're doing?
What took me over there 5 years to understand a lot of those aspects. Like say one was implementing a POS system. That took me, I think, about 2.5 years to learn it. Did it here in a matter of a week and a half.
Wow.
Right? Developing a menu, modifiers, concepts, understandings of what choices to give the customers, how to charge for these fees. All right? Not everything that you have in here, if somebody, it's an add-on, has to be free, right? Because many corporations, you go ask them for a certain sign, a certain topping, it's an extra fee, right? 10 cents, 15 cents. Pennies count. So
everything matters.
Yes, and it's clear as day sometimes, but some people will not think of that much. You know what I mean?
Because volume, you make money in volume.
Yeah,
right. It's a mindset.
That's kind of one of the things that came through fairly quick. What took me 2 years over there took me about a week or 2 or 3 or so to get it done here. Permits. That's one of the key things that probably people have in mind. How do you get permits?
Right. That's very important. Yes.
How do you become a food truck vendor? How do you come up to spec with now who is Texas? Who's in charge? Who do you speak with? Yeah. What happens? How do you get started? It's easier than years ago now. It's not a specific department like Humboldt or Houston or Harris County. It's in general, it's Texas. You reach out to Texas, let them know about your idea, tell them what kind of equipment you have in here, what you're going to be cooking, and they'll guide you through the whole thing step by step.
Oh, wow.
They're really you just got to reach out to them.
Just go on the website, and that website is just Google permits and
Texas food truck permits. Look it up on Google. It'll lead you to all the right answers.
I gotcha.
And with now generation, you have AI. Come on.
You can't miss it, right? Miss it.
You can't miss it. No, it's really simple nowadays.
And that's amazing information from a person who has done it and is doing it right now. A lot of businesses, from my experience, from understanding as well, they start, they lose motivation. To that point, do you think it's important why you're going into the business? Is it important as to, okay, I'm going to open this business? Why? Do you have to have a reason, a purpose behind it? And did you have one?
To have a purpose behind, you have to have a purpose, a reason for it, like a goal. Have a goal. Even if it's something simple as buying a vehicle, specific vehicle. You have to have a goal. If or so you don't have a goal, you will not exercise certain things. You will not test yourself, right? Having a goal really, it puts your mindset in a way to work harder day by day, right? Because you want to give up fast.
You want to give up in a challenging situation.
Precisely.
So what was your one thing that you would say that you worked for someone? Of course, at that time you were comfortable. You was about to be. She was working as a teacher. What did you wanted to accomplish by having your own business? What one thing you would want to tell?
A personal goal that I had was to have a home before I was 21.
Wow, so that's a motivation to get up.
That was my motivation. It's as easy as that.
Beautiful.
And keep in mind, I was 20 when I made this decision. I was probably a couple months away from turning 21. The apprenticeship was offering me all sorts of ways to get a home.
Really?
And even though that was I was so eager and hungry to have a home before 21, so I could show my dad, so he could be proud. Hey man, can't believe it. You got an actual physical home, not an apartment, not a mobile home property. And even though I was months from just waiting, I had ambition, and the business was calling me, and I had to drop the program. That meant me losing my opportunity from getting that home that I wanted. It didn't matter which one.
I see.
Simply enough, it slipped off my hands.
Wow. That sacrifice you made to get the business, and you're, of course, now you can even do better, bigger and better things from success that you had here.
And then the next goal was you get it, you slipped it off your hands. How are you gonna get it back? And well, the reason you let it go was because you had your own business already. You're trying to start. You're in the beginnings, and you're like, now how do I get that thing home? How do I get that car at home? The way was working harder, right? It's easy as that. Consistency, being here every day, same hour.
Keep doing it regardless of the result.
Yes. The weather.
Because you have bad days and good days.
Your health, everything came into play.
I see.
Just that was it, and it pushed me to work harder. I think a year and a half in of owning the business. As you can tell, it only delayed me a year and a half. You want to think of it another way? 18 months.
18 months.
You see that? 18 months later, I was looking for a home. And I was shopping again.
Wow. So that's amazing.
Time is key, and patience is also there too.
And do you enjoy what you do? Is that something that's important as well?
Man, I love talking with people in general. That's kind of one of my key things. I do love cooking. I study it.
Do you?
And if anybody were to, it's crazy. I never even thought about studying for food, or culinary. I think that's how it would be. I was trying to do architecture when I was in high school, and then when I graduated, I was trying to still follow architecture. And one thing I'm trying to say is nothing ever goes as planned, right? There I was, a plumber. Didn't make no sense. But the reason I stuck to it was because they had all kinds of smaller programs from certain companies offering you to be a designer, to design the pipes, to work on AutoCAD. And it was my goal, right? To end up there. I did have a goal there too.
I see.
So what happens after all this? I had all these goals. I pushed them back, and down the road, here we were in the food truck business. Somewhere I never thought I would see myself.
I see.
And well, proceeds forward to where we're at now. We were at the year and a half where we finally get the home. We reached that goal. Now I have it. What's my next thing?
Yes. What is the next for Too Good Papi, for Andres, Kimberly? What does the next 5 year look like?
Proceeding after that, you have to set more goals. You have to put goals in place. If you don't have goals, you lose the motivation, right? Goals were, once you get the home, how are you going to pay off the home? That does not mean I paid it off in cash. No. Money's hard and money's tough, man. You got to build it. It's hard to build wealth. In a year and a half, I did not build $300,000 to buy the home cash. No. I wish it was like that. No. It didn't go like that.
The reality.
Oh, it was a small down payment. Let's go into debt together. Sign here, sign there. Me and my wife were excited. And how are you gonna buy the furniture? How are you gonna buy the TV? My wife was pregnant at the moment. She was pregnant. We were gonna have our first baby. Okay. We were excited, and that was also another motivation. Your kiddos, your family, who is depending off of you should be your motivation. They need from you. Always be ready to accept. They're requesting. Make sure you provide.
Changes. You plan A, but you know what? If your plan A is not gonna work, let's do this. Because you want to make sure family is very important. And it looks like you're doing this with your family. You're growing with your family, right? And do you like that idea that you're working with your wife and she's able to come in and help you out and even run?
Sometimes you need that one-on-one, as raw or as straight as it gets. Because you don't want somebody who's unknown. They're gonna try to ease it into you and sweet talk it to you. No. You need somebody who simply just tells you you're messing up, you're screwing up. You need to change plan.
Be honest with you. See what, not the way things that actually are, not as they appear to be.
If anybody is married and they have a wife as well, they will tell you, or your husband, they'll tell you as straight as it gets. Hey, this month we don't have enough to pay the bills. You need to put into more time as well. We need to work together as a team. Something an unknown business partner would not tell you. Sometimes they will bite their tongue and they would not say anything. They'll just be like, "Oh, let's hope he fixes it." No, when it's your
communication is important.
Communication was key there.
I've had a chance to talk to Kimberly as well. Amazing lady, very, very smart. And it's important. It's very important for family to be also on the same page as well, right? And it's a different atmosphere when your family works with you together. Good stuff. Before we wrap this up, if you were to tell the youngsters out there who want to start going to business, they're confused, they don't know what to do right now, but they want to do something, what advice would you give them? What kind of mindset you need to have, and what to be aware of when you start the business? The reality or the honeymoon period? What 2 or 3 things that you want to tell people out there that might help them?
Something I could tell that might help them. See your strengths. You have to have your strengths. There's a couple strengths. You should know what you're strong on. It is not based off of what you do currently for work or a living. Don't base it off of that. It's not there. You need to see what your strengths are. You might be strength being verbal, speaking to somebody. You might be strong mentally memorizing certain things. Focus on your strengths. Find your strengths. Understand where you're at, because you can't do everything. So your strengths are where you're going to start there.
Find what you want to do first. Find what you're good at.
What you're good at, If it's talking, if it's sitting down and being able to work behind a computer for so many hours and not minding it, that's one of your strengths. That's where you start. One of the few 3 things. A second one is understand your weaknesses. I think that one took me about a week. Understanding your weaknesses, your breaking points. Man, you have to find your breaking points. I cannot work over 10 hours. I really can't. I wish I've done it. I've worked all kinds of shifts. When I was in plumbing, I did one full 24-hour shift for the company.
That's a long one.
It was easy for me because I was just the apprentice. I was just there kind of watching. But they made me stay and work around it. And that one was awesome. I know that was a great day. It's terrible. My weakness was I couldn't work an extended amount of hours, and some people can. Some people could work over 12 hours, and they're great truck drivers.
But know your weakness.
Yes, find your weakness. I found my weaknesses. I understood those. I got those points. And then the third one, we just spoke about it. Motivation. Just you have to have some sort of motivation. Anything.
I see.
There's many other points that I could think of. Anything else I really couldn't think of. But motivation. Be motivated. Because without motivation, you're not gonna get nowhere.
Stay motivated. That's gonna charge you.
Be hungry.
And
if you want to make it short and sweet, a better explanation.
Be hungry. Okay.
Be hungry. Be hungry. Well, you could be from a family from millionaires. If you are not hungry, you're not gonna grow. You could have as many ideas as you wish, and you could have all the tools handed to you. If you're not hungry, you're not gonna put them to work the right way. You're not gonna push them and force them to do what you want them to do, right? Because you're not gonna care.
Got it.
Or maybe you don't have those tools in your hands. Maybe you're not from a millionaire family. I wasn't. And those tools that they got handed to me, or I looked into investing in them, I had to be self-motivated, right? You have to be hungry. Hunger. And it doesn't mean you're short on money. It doesn't mean you don't have a home. It doesn't mean you don't have a car. Simply enough, are you hungry for it?
Did you have that drive?
Do you want it? That drive, exactly. Do you have it? Is it in there?
I love it.
Once you have that, you find the weaknesses, you're hungry for it, And then the first point I honestly forgot already, but being self-motivated with that. All that being said, you combine all three aspects together and you build a recipe for success.
I see.
You're in a recipe for success.
I see.
Why? Because now you always have a reason every week, every other day. You just keep grinding, right? You get there, and you will get there.
And it gets better and better. You keep developing new skills.
It never gets easier. It never gets easier.
That's important.
It never gets easier. You do grow, but it never gets easier.
The new challenges that come along.
You gotta fight them. You gotta bite the bullet.
Things you've never seen before. So, oh my God, I didn't know about it. I didn't know that was going to happen. Oh my God, what is this here?
A smile. Just smile.
Yeah.
Positivity is key. Be positive.
Wow.
Negativity is also great. Be ready for negativity, but grow from it and smile afterwards.
Yeah.
You'll be just fine.
Wow.
Ride the wave, man. Just ride it out.
Wow.
If we went through the pandemic and we rode that big old wave where businesses opened and closed and existing businesses that have been 15 years in place had to shut down, and you were one of the new ones coming in, they went through negativity, you went through positivity, and let's hope that everybody came back, right? They came back up to their specs and they came back into business. Never wish the worst on anybody. Understand the sun does shine for everybody. That's something my dad taught me. He put it in place.
Really?
He said in Spanish, "El sol sale para todos." With that means competition. Be ready to receive competition.
I see.
Be ready. Always
People
be ready.
will try to stop you what you're doing. You have to keep thinking of things that you can do to beat them. Or
Competition will get you on your toes, and competition is not bad. Competition is good.
Use it. Yeah, use it to your advantage.
Use it.
Wow, I love it. You know what I love. What Andres said was that focus on, look at your weaknesses, know the weaknesses, and see how you can make it make it your strengths, right? But know your weaknesses so you can get sidetracked on what you're trying to accomplish. You know, motivation, very important. I agree with you where you gotta have some type of burning desire in your stomach to keep going. So if you don't have that fire, it's going to be very difficult for you to go through challenges like that, right? You gotta have that mentality. It's been an amazing 30 minutes with you. I hope that our listeners have learned a lot. I know I have. I want to thank you for coming on a podcast, and I would love to follow your business next 3 to 5 years. I'd love to revisit with you where you are now and where you will be 3 years from now. I am confident that that you're going to do an amazing job. But thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate having you on the podcast. Any last minute words for our listeners?
If you have a goal set in mind, a business idea, follow Tanvir's podcast and watch his videos, and you'll see from many other people's standpoints and point of views. A lot of these are small business owners or large corporations. So watch these and learn from them. Soak it in, man. Just absorb it. Take it in.
Amazing words of wisdom. Thank you again for joining us. You'll be joining us very shortly again for our next podcast with another entrepreneur. Again, Andres Sanchez, Too Good the Papi, and Too Good Mommy. And the location again is...
We're over here in Humboldt, 9723 North Sam Houston, Parkway East, Humboldt, Texas. Make sure y'all stop by. We got awesome food, great deals.
And great drinks.
Yes, Mr. Tanvir got himself.
I'm enjoying it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. This is Tanvir, Channel of Inspiration.